Okay, so Assalamualaikum. Okay, I hope everyone is doing well. Okay, for today, we are going to do some writing. Okay, so this is page 26 of your textbook. Okay, so making stories lifelike. Okay, so we've already gone through this during our lessons in school. Okay, so you have to remember that when you are writing stories, you would need to have descriptions, actions, and also people. Okay, the character. And then you have to describe the character, and then for actions, what are the things that the character do in the story. Okay, so you can make the reader care more about what happens to your character by making them come to life and seem real. So two ways to do this is by writing what they say or think and by describing how they feel. Okay, so let us jump straight to number 3. Okay, so this is a writing task. Okay, you have seen this announcement in an English language magazine. Okay, we are looking for stories for a magazine. Your story must begin with this sentence. Okay, so Anne knocked on the door of the house. She was determined to find who lived there. So your story must include an old woman and a surprise. Okay, so this actually is the current SPM format for SPM 2021. So this is one of the type of essays that you have to write. Okay, so for your essay, it is only 140 to 190 words. Okay, so this is an example of an essay earlier. Okay, so for your essay, you should start with the sentence given by the question. So Anne knocked on the door of the house. She was determined to find out who lived there. Okay, so in this story, the writer explained the situation in the given sentence. Okay, does she explain? Yes, she did. Okay, she explains that she have recently moved from America to the small village and often admired the house, beautiful rose garden. Okay, so she give a situation there lah. She's new. Okay, next one. Does the writer include both points asked in this task? So the points are to write about an old lady. So there's an old lady here. And then the second point is a surprise. Okay, she was surprised to see a birthmark exactly same as hers. And then she found out that the old lady was actually her great aunt Elizabeth. So this was the surprise. So both points. Okay, so how many different feelings does Anne experience in the model story? Okay, so now let us look at the first paragraph. There are admire. So this is the first feeling. And then she's nervous. She's hopeful. And then she panicked. She was surprised. And then finally she was happy. Okay, so you can see that in this sample answer, there are 6 different feelings. Okay, so another way to bring your story alive is to use the 5 senses. Okay, so remember the 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Okay, so in the sample answer, it also uses the 5 senses. So now let us look at in the first paragraph. Okay, in the first paragraph, there is here, admire the house, beautiful rose garden. Okay, for this, what kind of sense is this? Okay, so this is the sense of sight. Okay, she sees the beautiful rose garden. Okay, and then the next one is a wonderful sweet smell of cooking. So when she was at the door, she could smell. So this is the sense of smell. She could smell the wonderful sweet cooking. Okay, and then the next sense is this, heard, a soft cry. Sense of hearing. She hears a soft cry. Okay, cry here meaning is not somebody crying or wailing. There is actually asking for help. This, stroke the old lady's soft white hair. Okay, stroke, she touch. So this is actually sense of touch. And then she saw a birthmark. Astonished to see a birthmark. So this one is sense of sight again. Then last but not least, there's more, there's two more. Okay, and then the next one is listening to old family stories and eating delicious cakes. So listen is sense of hearing. And then this one is sense of taste. So how does the cake taste like? It tastes delicious. Okay, so for today, you will need to do this. Okay, a writing task. So this is the question. Can you write a story for our new magazine series? Your story must begin with this sentence. As Mark was about to throw away the bottle, he saw there was a piece of paper inside it. Okay, so your story must include a message or map. Then, what was the surprise? If it's a message, what was the surprise? Or if it's a map, why is it a surprise? And what's the surprise? Okay, so you have to plan your story. So I am expecting 4 paragraphs from you. Okay, in the first paragraph, you set the scene. Setting the scene meaning where and when does the story take place. Okay, so you should share, you should describe where does Mark find the bottle. Okay, and then explaining in the given sentence, you create the situation. Okay, so what was actually Mark doing, and then why, what happened after he noticed the piece of paper. Okay, so paragraph 2 and 3 is action. So what did Mark do? Okay, so when he find out that it is actually a message or a map. If you choose that it is a map, you have to describe the map. Is it a treasure map? What kind of map is it? Okay, and then write an ending of your story. So what happens when Mark found the message and the surprise? What happens after that? Okay, so give a conclusion to your story. Okay, before we end our class today, let us check the language bank. So time expressions, you can use this when you are writing. So time expressions ni is when you are setting the scene. When. Okay, the next day, while, just then, after that, afterwards, much later. Okay, and then you can also use these feelings to describe Mark's feeling. Okay, astonished, brave, calm, cheerful, confident, confused, decisive, desperate, excited, exhausted, frustrated, miserable, relieved, and scared. Okay, so if you add the word li there, so these words will become adverb. So feelings are actually adjective because they are words to describe. And then if you're thinking, you can also use these words, argue, complain, scream, sigh, warn, whisper, and wonder. Then don't forget to also use the senses. Okay, you use the sense of sight, any sense of sight where you see, you notice, or you observe. Then you can hear, you can smell, taste, touch. Okay, so remember the examples, the notes that I gave you just before the holidays. Okay, you can refer to that too. Okay, and then the sense of taste is that for the sense of taste you have salty, sweet, sour, bitter, the heat of the sun. Sense of touch, the cool shade, touch, soft breeze, touch, raindrops are also touch. Okay, so I hope that you're able to answer this question for today's class. Okay, that's all. Thank you.